Seb Williams. Here we have Seb. Everybody say hi, Seb. Oh, except for Clubhouse, you guys cannot say hi, Seb, but you guys just say hi with love in your heart or something like that. And we have the amazing Mr. Pierre. Everybody say hi, Pierre, or everybody send love to Pierre or something like that. And the incredible Bryan. Hello, Bryan. Everybody do hello, Bryan. So yeah, today is a very special, interesting, and very new type of episode, because not only are we live on Facebook, not only are we live on YouTube, but we're also for the very first time hosting our own very room inside of Clubhouse. And I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who is joining us today. We have Nancy in the house, we have Dana in the house, Heather in the house, Roxanne in the house. Super, super, super awesome to have you here. We also have Misty and Amrita in the house. And I just very quickly wanted to say something to everybody who is tuning in on not Clubhouse, so that's either Facebook or YouTube. If you guys want to have the ability to ask questions, which I think today's episode is definitely going to invite you to, then I would recommend you guys to join us on Clubhouse instead. I'm going to be popping in the link on the I'm pinning, link is coming. So just check the comments and you guys can see the link there. Now, some of you listening to this might be thinking like, OMG, what's going on with this girl? Because she seems to be very hyper. And yes, I am hyper because I'm high on life, but I'm more so very hyper and excited because I've got these amazing superstar guys with me who are all just incredible, always changing lives. So everybody who's on Clubhouse, please do make sure to click on both Pierre as well as Seb and give them a follow, because these guys are life changers. And we also will have Bryan on Clubhouse very, very soon. But if you guys are on Facebook, make sure to check out Bryan as well, because this guy, OMG, you will want to stay tuned. So the topic of today's episode is future pacing to manifest your dream lifestyle. And this, like I said before, is the 4th episode of I'm Perfectly Beautiful or Imperfectly Beautiful. And on this note, I would just like to start by passing on the mic to the guy on my if you guys are on Facebook and YouTube, you guys can see that. Yeah, that's the only thing, right? Just to be completely clear, on Facebook and YouTube, you have the pleasure to be able to see us, but on Clubhouse, you have the amazing opportunity to ask questions. So yeah, it's like a win-win type of situation, or maybe like pro-con or something, but it's good. It's very good. So I want to give the mic to the amazing Seb Williams and open up the floor to him to share some of his thoughts on the topic of future pacing, to allow our audience who's here gathered today for the very first time on Clubhouse, but also on Facebook and YouTube, about how they can start using this technique of future pacing to manifest their dream lifestyle. So the floor is yours, Mr. Seb. Make sure to
wow.
Make sure to unmute as well.
So I think I'm speaking here on Clubhouse now and on Facebook and wherever else all at the same time. So fingers crossed everything's coming through loud and clear. What an introduction. What a start to an episode, hey? Like this lady over here, if you're watching us, if you can see as well, we're pointing to Barry, is next to me on the screen. I think this lady's had a little bit of caffeine today, don't we think, people? So this should lead to a very exciting conversation today. We're talking about future pacing and how to use that tool to be able to better manifest things in your life. Now, some of you might be thinking, firstly, what on earth is it that I've tuned into? Who is this crazy Chabaria woman? What is she drinking? Can I have some? What's going on, right? These kind of thoughts might be going through your head if you're new to maybe this community. For those of you who've been around a while, you know that that's just Chabaria on a normal day. So, and she's nodding in agreement, absolutely. So, for those that you don't know, you'll get to know us all very soon. We're weird and wonderful, and we embrace that. But for those of you, more importantly, that are wondering, maybe what is future pacing, what does that exactly mean? Just let us know. If you're able to type somewhere, just type into the comments, a number 1 if you're like, guys, what is future pacing? What does that mean? because we were speaking about this earlier, and it's definitely a phrase that I've used for a while, but if I think back, I don't really know where I picked this up from. Some of you might already be familiar with this kind of term, and if you are, then type a 2 into the chat just so we know where everybody's at and we can kind of gauge who we've got with us. It's nice to see more and more people jumping on Clubhouse as well. Please do, because you get to ask your questions there, so make sure. Shabari is busy geeking out on the tech, making sure that everything's working behind the scenes. So future facing, I think, to give everyone an understanding so that we're all sort of speaking from the same point as we move through this conversation, because it will be very, very powerful for you guys to learn and embody this tool, this practice, and see how everybody kind of does it in their own unique way. As I think it's safe to say, we're 4 unique individuals on this call. Future pacing, for me, the way that I would explain it, and maybe I'd love to hear your guys' description of it as well, is to like shut off like the visual, like the world that you see around you, whether that's closing your eyes or getting your pen and paper out and focusing on that, or however it is that you sort of visualize into the future, but to shut off the current surroundings of where you are, to fast forward to where you want to be. So you forget where you are now, your current circumstances, anything that might be holding you back, because we all have these goals that we want to achieve, but then sometimes your butt gets in the way, right? And I want to do this, but you kind of leave all of that in the past, right? You don't let that come with you. Even if you've been working on those beautiful gains in the gym, like you leave them alone, right? And you go forward, and chips. Oop. Oh my gosh, Wonder Woman right over here. Holy guacamole, don't start a fire with this lady. She'd kick your ass. And with love, she would do it with love, because that's who she is. But so you leave the past, right, and the present alone, and you go forward with 0 limitation. This is the way that I see it, right? You go forward into the future, however far you want. Maybe it's a week, a month, a year, however far you want, 5 years, I don't know. But you move forward into the future with 0 limitation on where you can be, who you will be when you're there, how it will feel, what you will have, what you won't have, all of these things, right? And you see, like use every sense that you have, right? There's 5 senses, is that right? I'm not very clever with these things, like feeling, seeing, touching, smelling.
There's 6 senses.
6 senses.
I see. No, never mind.
You're thinking of that film, right? I see dead people. I've seen that one. If no one's seen it, you just got the spoiler. But anyway, so you use all of the senses that are available to you. I don't know, maybe if you're Spider-Man, then you got some weird Spidey sense going on as well. Right, exactly. So you use your senses, but you get very, very clear. I think the key thing here is like the clarity, right? The specificity in every sense of the word, right? Get clear on what it feels like to be in that ideal future of where you want to be, of where you can be, of where you will be, right? And then embodying that, not just like, thinking about it, but embodying it. That's why it's important for me to like bring all of the senses in. Even though I can't often name them, right? But you bring all of the senses in. So you're really embodying it, mind, body, and spirit. Jedi, exactly, Simeon. This guy knows, right? Exactly. Use how many midichlorians you have. Maybe you have a better experience with this. I don't know. For some people who are really Star Wars geeks, they would have got the midichlorian thing, and people looking at me like I'm crazy. Never mind. So point is to fast forward, to really get clarity on where you can be, where you will be, and declare it, and then bring that into the now, right? Because there's no distance between who you are now and who you want to be, right? And showing up as the person who, because that's the thing, right? Then you start to show up with those qualities, right? So maybe your future self, just throwing some random examples out there, is, a millionaire, is, has a really healthy relationship with their, from a health point of view, not just a wealth point of view, has better relationships, is living where they want to live, with who they want to live, is working in the place and how they want to, design their work and their career and whatever, their business, whatever else it might be. How does that person show up? Do they get up early? Do they do yoga in the morning? Do they read a book? Like all of these things, right? So you're getting clarity on all of that. And then you just decide, like you bring it back into the now, and then you just show up as that person. And then you're able, because you have to embody those things first before you can get the result, right? You don't get rich and then become a person who has wealthy habits. You have the wealth habits and the wealth principles and the success principles first, and then you move towards the result. So that allows you to get, for me, it's also that clarity, right? It allows you to get clear on how should I be showing up? How does it feel to have achieved already the results that I'm looking for in life? And then you just show up in that full knowing of exactly what it feels like. And feeling is the secret, right? We've all heard this before, but it's true. It allows you to move forward with purpose, with intention, with no doubt, nothing but certainty and belief. It's a very, very powerful thing. And that would be my explanation of it, the long-winded one, nonetheless. But there we go. It's a very, very powerful thing when you really surrender to the process, I think, more than anything, and really do leave the BS, the baggage behind. The thing, you guys thought I was going to swear then, didn't you? No, it's a family show. But yeah, it's a very, very powerful thing. I'd be curious to hear what everyone else is sort of, how you would describe future pacing and what it really means to you.
Let me unmute myself. There we go. Yeah, to be fair, it's quite. I think, Seb, you've like summed it up so well and so eloquently. I'll just try and add a little bit to it, or just expand on it in the way I see it. It's very, very similar in any case. And future pacing is actually something that Yaspierre taught me, that I learned, through collaborating with her, and it's just for me, it's a kind of, it works hand in hand with law of attraction, and it's a way of positioning yourself, basically bringing your future self into you now. Because the thing is, anything you can imagine, anything that comes into your head that you want is already there. It's like it's already in a vibration, and to bring that forward into your life, you need to also resonate at the vibration, at the resonance of that, of how you are as your future self, having achieved all those goals, so that you can, in the present, kind of start resonating. This is, those of you on can see on video can see me. This is you resonating to meet the goal up here. And the more you start resonating with that, the more you start to attract the actual goal that you want. And so it's actually starting from the goal first. And I think that's what we're taught in FLC as well, right? We work backwards from the actual goal. So like, say you want to, sell a product for 100K, then you need to work out how you're going to get to that. So essentially, it's just doing that with every single goal in your life. You have your goal, so you want to, be able to run a marathon. So you need to start with the habits that a marathon runner has, like the nutrition, the training every single day, all that kind of stuff. So it's very much like Seb said. I don't know if I can add too much. It's just acting the way that a person in the position you want to be acts, essentially. And then I can pass that on to Bryan.
I very much enjoyed that, Pierre. Thank you.
It's for those visual people.
Yes.
Yeah, can I just very quickly say something? So right now, we're going to pass the mic to Bryan, for those of you who are on Clubhouse. And hello and welcome to all the new people who are in here. And we're still learning the traits of Clubhouse. So if you guys can click on the screen and then swipe down, then we are refreshing or something. So that is somehow good for the flow of things in Clubhouse. So yeah, feel free. Maria says it a lot more graciously. But yeah, passing on the mic to Bryan right now, who's not yet on Clubhouse, but he is here on Facebook and on YouTube. So I'm passing the mic on. For those of you who are listening, I don't sound like a guy just now, but it's actually Bryan. So here you guys have Bryan.
Party people! What is up, everybody? I have to be honest. When we were discussing this topic, I was like, "What? What is that?" Even though, after learning more of everyone's interpretation of it, I knew I've used it in my life before. So regardless of what you call it, I think Pierre and Seb touched on it beautifully. I think I think it is the work of raising your vibrations to your manifestation. And then they just all go like this. But and yeah, there you go. And it is, in fact, the law of attraction. I think everything comes back to the law of attraction. And I know for me, you know, when I met all of you beautiful people here and everyone in the chat, most likely by now, it was all completely new to me. So even visualization, meditation, you know, I had to experiment with a lot of things, and I was doing things I didn't even really realize had names. And for me, it helped that with your visualization, that the main thing, like Seb touched on, that you're trying to accomplish is reaching a new vibration, which comes a lot easier through your emotions. And I can tell you right now, without knowing it, I use this to help me quit smoking cigarettes. And that was a technique by, thank you, that Antonio from Uvolve, he helped me out with. So a big shout out to him, and he helped me using it, even if he did, even if he wasn't aware like I was. It's really, it's taking just a visualization and then it's adding the emotions to it, which then I think, at least for me, it made it more comfortable and more realistic once you can start to feel the emotions of what the new manifestation is. And for me, it started with something like a financial goal. And I always thought to myself, you know, that I would kind of be the same person just with that goal accomplished. And in reality, it's a combination of molding your entire vibration. So you're not even the same person just accomplishing that. You know, when you're accomplishing it and raising your vibration, you're changing who you are. And that was very eye-opening for me.
Nice. That's super, super beautiful. So everybody who's there on Facebook and on YouTube, please comment below and say hoo-ha-hoo for these amazingly beautiful shares that we've just had. And again, for those of you who are on Clubhouse, feel very free to click on either Seb or Pierre to make sure to give them a follow, because these guys are absolutely incredible. And you can also future pace yourself to when Bryan is on Clubhouse and actually give him a follow already as well. But he will be with us very, very soon. And yeah, I think what you guys have shared just now is absolutely beautiful and brilliant. And the reason as well why we wanted to have this call today on both Clubhouse, which we still have new people tuning in, so welcome to all of you, as well as on Facebook and on YouTube, is because we wanted to also allow this to be a discussion. Because a lot of the time, you know, whenever we speak about this, like Pierre mentioned before within FLC, or whenever we, you know, talk about this in a setting to help people, a lot of the time the complication or the difficulty is that you do want a future phase and you do that visualization and you fly to the future and you vibrate at, you know, that new frequency, but then something happens and you're back, boom, to your old vibration, or you start becoming that like type of personality again, even though you don't want to be, because you want to get that future. But yeah, the big question that we always get is for people that ask, like, how do you remain in that, and how do you do it consistently, and anything like that. So that's why we thought, let's have this call today and you know, share this, as well as sharing this for the very first time on Clubhouse. And what we want to do is to open up the floor for some questions. So if there's anybody here on Clubhouse who would like to ask a question to any of our amazing hosts right here, whether that is Pierre, whether that is Seb, or whether that is Bryan, who is tuning in or channeling in through my account right now, then feel very free to raise your hand. And then we'll be going through the questions one by one. Now, one quick thing, and again, for those of you who are on Facebook or on YouTube, you can, we are also live on Clubhouse, and that gives you the ability to ask questions as well. So there's a link in the description as well as a link in the comments, so you can click on there and then move your way to Clubhouse to be able to ask questions. And for those of you who are on Clubhouse, we are now going to add you guys to the speaker panel. Whenever that happens, your mic gets unmuted straight away. So make sure to mute yourself, and then we can give you the floor to share one by one. So I'm just going to add you guys into it. Make sure to mute yourself right now. So we're going to welcome the new speakers on here. So it's super cool to have Nancy on the speaker floor, as well as Corinna on the speaker floor. And I also want to give a massive shout out to my dad, who's on Facebook or on YouTube. I don't know which of the two, but Facebook it is. Love you, Dad. Alrighty, so let's go and open up the floor to our very first question by the amazing Nancy.
This is a spontaneous action. I didn't expect to go on the floor to speak, but Shibaria, you said something right before about it's hard to go through it to manifest the dream life you have in front of you. Yeah, you visualized, and I know because I'm going through that. But it was a bumpy ride when I didn't know what happened. And since I'm with you, what you taught me that. Accelerated freedom lifestyle. Wow, that was so great. And the things you said around it that helped me. So, I mean, around it, hear me. The business side you have, but how you say it, de psychologie erachter?
Oh, the psychology behind it.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, big shout out to Nancy as well, being Dutch.
Sorry? Oh, yeah. I'm Dutch. So if I don't know, I ask you, okay?
Yes, that's totally fine.
Thank you. And since I am creator and with you recently, I have tools of how you say it. I can hold on to something, and that was real great because I almost lost my dream. You know, so that was great, but still it's hard. But I keep remembering me, and you keep remembering me through your attention with the emails and the videos you send. So I keep reminding myself, this is what I'm going to do. Here's where I'm going to stay in this vibration. And sometimes it's hard, but when you recall good memories or what you learned, like what I have from you, then it's easier. Then, I'm there. Yeah, and you take your notes again, you go through it, and you're in that vibe again. You think, but I still have difficulties. That's it. I'm Nancy from the Netherlands, and I'm done speaking. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nancy. We're all just listening to you with a big, big, big smile. And it's just so wonderful because you're absolutely incredible. And everybody who is on Clubhouse right now, make sure to click on Nancy and give her a follow as well, because Nancy is going to conquer the world and give so much good. So, just to make sure that it is something that we can continue to maybe provide some value for you, do you have a particular thing at this very moment that is that is causing it to be a little bit difficult every now and again? Because you mentioned sometimes it's still difficult and it's a process, and being at FLA has done some magic, which we are super happy to hear. But is there anything specific that one of the panel members could maybe help you with?
It's still difficult for me too. I canceled today the boot camp, and that's I'm really honest about it now. And I know you have to ask, can I share something? The reason was I looked at the replays, and as usually I don't film myself because I just cannot hit that button, and 11 times I did it once, but I canceled it today just because I couldn't do it, and because I don't have a message. I don't know what to do right now. I have all the knowledge from you, from Master, from Joshua, Tina. I know everything, but that action that I thought to take, so I took an action today, but I decided not to go to the boot camp because for me that felt I had to do something else, and I did that. So, but it was hard to say no because everybody's helping so great, you see. But I am creating my life and almost living somebody else's life for them. And that's what I heard too in all those courses I did. And then I thought, what am I doing? So that's why I'm somewhere stuck in between. Because I want to pursue something, and in real life, it's just not there. And what I'm saying, creating is literally, I'm creating a new life on internet, virtual. I don't even know if it's real because I never met you live. And when I turn off the screen, I say, yeah, that was really like a virtual reality. So, I'm here, both feet on the ground. You think, whoa, back to the future again. And then I met you, and I thought, she seems possible. She's Dutch. Yeah, she's in America. And look how she does. Look how she does. She said, yeah, you're the same. No. She said, yes, but you forgot. And yes, I did. So, out of balance. Is that something to maybe get me in balance again? Maybe you can do it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that beautiful share, and also for your eloquency and your courage to go and share that, because it takes a lot of courage to express your journey and express the different things that you are growing into and different things that you are wanting to do. So first of all, everybody, even though we cannot see you, we cannot see you anywhere. So everybody, please with us do a massive hoo-ha-hoo for the incredible Nancy. And then I would like to ask any of our other panelists if you would like to share something with regards to what Nancy was expressing as to taking the action and sometimes feeling a little bit stuck in that and feeling like you're living a completely different life when you are truly throwing yourself into the creation mode. So is there any other panelists who would like to share about that? Please let me know.
Yeah, I would like to share on that.
Super.
So for me, I can definitely relate to that. The first time I ever went live was after joining the FLC. And the only thing I did on social media was posting, pictures from out the window on car rides and stuff like that. I didn't really use it for anything with myself. So I can definitely relate. It was a little scary with, I'll be honest. So I viewed social media and people that were all over it as kind of attention-seeking people that, I viewed them much differently than what the reality was. And it was very eye-opening to start that process, but to also understand why those people, go that route to be seen and spreading their message. It's not like an, oh, look at me type of thing. It's really something that you start for yourself, and it makes you, I'll speak for myself. I don't want to speak for anybody else, but it made me really start to understand who I was and feeling comfortable in my own skin, and taking that to another platform, which was social media. And I got very scared before going live. I never knew what I was going to talk about. And then when I would hit live, I would say, oh, what am I going to talk about? And then you have some bumps in the road, but I think it's like anything. The more you practice the uncomfortable things, the easier it becomes. And then you have to experience the contrast of something new and then make the decision if it is in fact good for, something you want to pursue or not. Just because you go out of your comfort zone doesn't mean that it's something you have to always do the rest of your life. It's figuring out the balance out of your comfort zone, more or less. So I could relate to that.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
I hope it helps.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's slowly because I moved in hours too. So when I have the master classes in California, I change my clock, but everyone goes with me. So my two cats, they go with me. Yeah, and then at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock we start a master class till 6 in the morning, and they don't have time. You see what I mean? They have time enough, but they don't have an end time, and that's great because I love that. You will see when it happens, when it ends, and but then you come back, you go London time. Okay, change everything slowly back because otherwise you have jet lags all the time. And I think now I'm at the moment that I'm very tired because I went from California to London to Netherlands in my own home behind the computer. So, but the hours, and you go 9 hours back, and then you go 9 hours to the future again. And the days are so long, and now I'm I think, tired. And from the 3 months that I'm doing this, I had a lot of fun, and I still have, and I'm really, 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 the knowledge that you gave, I just have no words for that. I never had it before, not in the Netherlands, never, ever, not even on internet. And that was exactly what I was looking for. But then implemented here where I live, and there you go. That's not imbalanced. And when I tried to tell it, I noticed people around me looked at me like, okay, where's she heading? And I think, okay, I'll stop here, I go nowhere, because you cannot explain this. So I'm trying to translate it to my friends or the businesses I want to reach out for. Because when I do it like this, they think, whoa, that energetic thing, I have it too, I love it. But they say, whoa, take it easy. So I have to find a way, and I want to translate that, and that's my message, but I just not finished yet with the message. So that's why I cannot share that like, this is it, because it comes out wrong, because it's not imbalanced with what I learned and the translation to the Netherlands. And it's so beautiful what I learned, and I would really want to share that here. Everybody would do it like this, but then their way, but wow, what we learned. This is unbelievable.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And I can actually very much relate, because obviously being brought up in the Netherlands, there's this saying in Dutch which says, act normal and then you act crazy enough, or something along those lines, which is like, it's
Exactly.
and it's not entirely stimulating you to get out of your comfort zone or to be crazy, like, we say be crazy, but in a good way, right? To be creative and all that stuff. So it's very very recognizable. But one thing that is so beautiful, and which I know also like everyone here will be able to relate to as well, is that the wonders of the internet, whether it's now on Facebook, on YouTube, on Clubhouse, on whichever medium that is now here or will in the future be here, is that we can connect with people from all around the world. So you don't necessarily have to just focus on like one particular audience, like the Dutch audience. You can also just look at a global audience and be able to help those people who are actually ready for it. And then the funny thing is that as soon as you start to do that, you also start to attract more Dutchies as well, which is something that definitely I've encountered too. But thank you so much for your wonderful question and for the beautiful share. And to just make sure that we, how does Maria say that? To just make sure that we can honor everybody's questions, let's move on to the next question by the amazing Corinna. So Corinna, feel very free to unmute yourself. Now this is the part, ladies and gentlemen, on Facebook where it's still a bit funny. Hello, Corinna, are you there? All right, so Corinna's not there. Then we'd like to pass on the mic to the wonderful Heather.
Hi there, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Yes, well, I just wanted to say, Sorari, your FLA was amazing with Master, and it was one of the most inspiring ones. Well, it was the only one I attended, but it was very inspiring and very encouraging, and it gave us a perspective that, we can do anything, and we can actually make these dreams that we are manifesting come to a reality as they are already here. Depending if we go after it hard enough. But I'm telling you, I was in healthcare for like 20 years, right, as an administrator, manager. And when I started actually creating my business this last year or so, it was absolutely something that I don't even know how to stop doing. Once we actually start creating for ourselves, it's just, it's hard, don't get me wrong, it's absolutely, it is not easy. My hat goes off to all successful business owners who have successful businesses and, who have implemented all the things and found all the funding and done all the things. But just to have the experience alone has taught me so much. And I guess my biggest question is how like what tools? I mean, I know it's meditation. I do that. Are there other tools that you guys know that we can have that would help us calm ourselves when we are freaking out?
First of all, thank you so much for that wonderful question, and very happy that you had a great time at FLA. I'm going to pass the mic to any of the other panelists, Mr. Seb Williams.
Firstly, Heather, hello, big warm welcome to the room. I think a lot of people could very much relate to that. Be like, you know, you're moving forward, you've learned something new, you're like, okay, this is very cool, I'm going to move forward with what I've learned. But then as you do, something life might throw you a curveball, and then you're like, what do I do now? And you need, you know, those tools and techniques to be able to ground yourself and move forward from a place of strength and intention, right? This is something I learned when I was definitely not scrolling through Instagram, being completely unproductive. I'd never do that ever. Right? Okay. But,
there's no baby Yoda in your life.
Right, exactly. No baby Yoda memes or anything distracting me. I was scrolling through, looking through Instagram, and lo and behold, it turned out to be actually a productive scroll, because I came across, and I wish I could remember who it was, but they shared with they were sharing this one little breathing technique, because we all know the power of breath, right? It can do a lot of incredible things. But this particular breathing technique for calming the whole body, like the whole nervous system, your mind is just so simple. It's like you hear it and you're like, really? Is that? No. And then you try it, because then you might try it now, but you maybe like, you don't really need the benefit of it now. So you're like, okay, maybe I feel like a placebo thing going on right now. But then when in the moment when you actually do need that calm, that grounding, that strength, and you try it, it's like, whoa, okay, this works, huh? So how it works is it's very, very simple. You take 2 deep, quick breaths in. How many breaths? 2. You guys know. So two quick inhales followed by 1 slow exhale. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. So it's like, but you got to be careful while you do it, because if you do it near a wall, if you can see me on Facebook and you go, and you end up headbutting the wall, like I've done that a few times when I've been sat down. So be careful. Or like if you're driving and you bang it against the headrest, so be careful how vigorously you inhale. But I promise you, that will serve you so well. It might sound like the craziest thing right now, but in the moment when you need it, just remember.
I like
and
that.
to do that a couple of times, it will change your whole state. It's incredible. And then that will allow you to get that clear mind, so you can make a conscious decision of how you act next. So you're not in reaction mode, but you're choosing how you respond. So it gives you that control back over what your next step might be.
Good. I like that.
We're gonna put it to use. I was recommended to your program by my manifestation coach, Abby Orris. I'm not sure if you guys know her, but she's amazing.
She's awesome.
Isn't she awesome? I love her. She's so wonderful, and she's inspired me so much. It got me through some really tough times. So she was the one who was telling me about breath work. So I just totally forgot about that, though. And I'm going to absolutely incorporate things that you're talking about, Seb. And I'm going to absolutely try to circle back with her, too, and get whatever other techniques. Because I think this is the one that she was talking about as well. But I just wanted to thank you guys so much for all of your hard work, pouring all your great energy into us. And just, I never knew there would be so many like souls out there, and it's just amazing to stumble across something so wonderful. So just thank you so much for everything, guys, and I'll still be tuning in.
Thank you so very much. And everybody who is here on Clubhouse, please feel very free to make sure to support the amazing Heathers by giving her a follow on social media or on Clubhouse. Yes, I'm the how do you say it? The silliest MC on Clubhouse. Whoop whoop. No, just a free spirit. But yeah, is there any other moderator who would like to talk something about that as well? Something that could also help, whether it's a technique or a strategy or something else? Please do let me know if you would like to share, and if not, we move on to the next question. So moderators, please flash your mic. This is so cool, right? I see you here, but I wait for a flash mic or a mic flash there, and then you can also just do this. It's funny.
I have something for you. PTR, pull to refresh.
Ah, yes, that's a very good one. Everybody in the room, please make sure to pull to refresh. So touch your screen and then drag it down, and then it refreshes so we can see who is with us at the present moment. Yes, thank you so much for that, Nancy. Now, if there are no further shares by our amazing, I think Seb just unmuted. Do you want to share?
I was flashing my mic. Apparently that's a Clubhouse thing.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
We're all learning together here.
I just wanted to say, oh, cool. Okay, thank you. We're all learning to.
Oh, Seb, I think I accidentally okay, there you go.
No offense taken, Jabari. That's fine. You can mute me anytime you wish. When the Yorkshireman starts rambling, you cut him off. So I just wanted to take a hot minute to appreciate the amount of platforms that we're going live on right now, and the amount of people we've got, having what I personally am enjoying a very fruitful conversation, because these things are so important, right? And it's really, I think let's not lose sight of that, so be like people listening along, like, are you actively listening, or are you just listening, tuning in, watching the cat, with Netflix on in the background, doing a million other things, right? Because these things, like, you got the opportunity to learn, and I don't claim to include myself in this, but we've got 2 Comma Club winner right over here, sharing. I can't point in the right direction on Facebook and talk at the same time, but we have a 2 Comma Club in our 2 Comma Club. We have one of those, a 2 Comma Club winner in our midst, along with Pierre and the amazing Bryan Mangiolardo as well. Like, these guys know their stuff, so take the opportunity, especially if you're on Clubhouse, where you can put your hand up and actually physically grab the mic, virtually grab the mic and share your questions. It's always so much more powerful than written, right? Because it shares so much more vibration and carries so much more weight. So just wanted to chime in and say, take the opportunity whilst it's there, seize the moment, carpe diem and all of that, but also come and give it up to the amazing Chabaria, our rockin' MC, Clubhouse MC. She's got all the things down. Flash your mic, pull down to refresh or whatever it is. She's got it all on lock. How cool, huh? So you can win the 2 Comma Club and be a dope MC. It's all possible. There's no limits. Future pace. Decide what you want.
Thank you so much, Seb, for that. And for those of you who are on Clubhouse, on Facebook, you can see the funny faces that we make and the funny wiggles that we do. So feel very free after this episode is finished on Clubhouse to also jump onto Facebook to just see the visual of it, because there's some funny stuff going on, as well as sometimes what you can see in my screen, at least, is that little Simba just walks by, and here it goes. Here he goes. And you can see he's just minding his own business while we're, having this episode. So that's very, very cool. And again, for everybody who is here with us, please feel very free to make sure to follow these superstars. So whether you are on Clubhouse, make sure to click on Pierre, make sure to click on Seb, and give these guys a follow, and future pace yourself to also give Bryan a follow, who will be with us on Clubhouse very shortly. And if you are on Facebook or on YouTube, make sure to follow these guys as well on Seb. What's the name of your page? Seb Williams, and I am Seb Williams, correct? Okay, and then Pierre everywhere is Yaspierre. Make sure to follow him. And Bryan, you're gonna have to help me with your page, because I still don't know exactly how to pronounce it.
I just have PLGB Life Coaching.
All right, super. So everybody make sure to follow these amazing superstars, because they are always sharing incredible value that will definitely put a smile on your face and help you move yourselves into the future, launch yourself into the future, and allow that to help you. And just to quickly reset the room, I think that's how they say it, to reset the room, welcome everybody to this very special episode number 4 of Imperfectly Beautiful, or I'm Perfectly Beautiful, where we're talking about the technique of future pacing to allow you to manifest your dream lifestyle. And so we have an amazing group of people who had a question, which are now on the speaker list. If there's anybody else who has a question as well, please feel free to raise your hand if you're on Clubhouse, or to ask a question in the comments if you are on Facebook or on YouTube. And we're passing on the mic to the next amazing question by Corinna.
Before I was connection. It's okay now. Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
All right. So happy to be here and just to have the opportunity to ask you something. I would love just to know one thing. I'm about to start all the programs and I have the agency and everything. But I have a big issue in these weeks. It's about being competitive. As Seb said maybe a few days ago, I'm not competitive, but I like to win. So I'm the same. I'm like that, and I feel a little bit, like struggling in these days with all the competition around. What do you suggest for that? I mean, do you have any advice or something in this direction?
Okay, thank you so much for that beautiful question. I would like to share my perspective on that, and then maybe if one of the other moderators would like to share as well. I think if you are competitive or like, the step way of being competitive, that you're not competing with everybody, but you just love to win, I think that's totally normal and that's totally healthy, because what it basically means is that you just love to give it your all, whilst at the same time you're happy when other people have success and you cheer them on and you support them as well. And if they get better than you, then you're happy for them. But in the meantime, you also want to make sure that you're doing good. So that's the first thing that I would like to add to it, to say that it's absolutely normal and it's actually really good to have that, because it allows you to continuously improve yourself and become the best version of yourself every single day. Now, the second thing that I would like to add before I pass the mic on to any of our amazing other moderators is that if you are thinking about competition in a way that you think like, oh, where do I stand here when there are so many big giants out there, people who've already achieved amazing success in the field that I want to dive into, where, how could I even stand a chance? If that is what you're thinking, and this is a question that we often get, then I would like to share with you that it doesn't matter at all, because you bring something very unique to the table. Whenever you are entering this, the market space, or you're just, starting to help people in a particular area, then all that matters is that you serve people and that you care. And by the amount that you care for people, you will stand out. You will become that person that people resonate with. Because sometimes people may see me and think like, whoa, this girl's way too hyper. They run away, but then they see you and you might share exactly the same thing, and then people love you. So don't feel that you perhaps don't stand a chance. I'm not saying that you think that, but just also to come back to that point of competition, that you stand a massive, beautiful chance. And the thing is that with everybody, no matter whether it's you, whether it's me, whether it's anybody, we all start from scratch. We all start from the beginning. And the truest thing that matters is that we just care for people and that we want to, help people and move them from A to B. And if we do that with full intention, then all the rest will come from that. And so, talking about this topic and the future pacing, just see yourself in the future where you are already helping so many different people. Come from that same energy, and just whoever's like in the competition field, don't worry about them. Just cheer them on, be happy for them, and then at the same time, you're giving it your all to help people as well. So my name is Shivara, and I'm done speaking. Yes.
I'm like, do I raise my hand? Do I hoo-ha hoo? How do I speak? I feel like I'm learning. This is so cool.
This is the part that I'm not entirely clear of too, but I think you just unmute and then you just start talking. Something like that. We're too polite.
Absolutely. I feel like I'm going to have to up my Clubhouse game for next time, but I'm appreciating the learning curve nonetheless. So great question, Karina. I loved Jabari's answer. I agreed with everything that was being shared there. There was another couple of thoughts rattling around in my mind as well. Firstly, like, it's a very cliche thing to say, but the only person you're ever competing with is yourself. But it's so true. Like, I share this all the time. One of my old mentors taught me to only ever look left and right for inspiration and motivation. What does that mean? That means look to your peers, your competitors, or whatever you want to call them, the people surrounding you, and look, don't judge like, oh, they're over there and they're doing this, and that person's over there and they've achieved that. Like, use it as fuel for, you know, for your tank to allow you to propel your journey, because that just shows you what's possible, right? Because if they can do it, you can do it too. And as Jabari said, you'll do it in your own unique way, which leads me on to the second thing that I was thinking about, was that there isn't any direct competition, unless we were both trying to, even if we were both trying to sell this pen. It was like such a Wolf of Wall Street thing. That didn't mean to happen. Okay, let's use a different example. If we're going to try and sell my favorite cup, Mr. Happy, thank you, Hannah, for buying me this many moons ago. Think happy, be happy, right? Even if all of us on this call right now, we're going to try and sell this mug, we'd all have different results, right? Because we were all selling in a different way. We've all got unique personalities. We delivered the message differently. People would resonate with us, you know, rather than the product. They would resonate with who's selling it, not the product, right? So there isn't I really don't believe there's ever direct competition because of that, because that's always going to be the overriding factor, right? Because energy is a very, very real thing, and we're in a conscious enough place to be able to have that enter the conversation as well, right? And finally, the other thought that was rattling around in my little head was the thought that competition really ever doesn't exist at all as well, because maybe, I don't know who would agree with this, maybe you guys can let me know, but like there's no competition, there's just people that you haven't yet learned to collaborate with. You know what I mean? Like whether it's you looking at what they're doing and being inspired from it and learning from it, or whether it's, you know, you build up and maybe you're playing the game and you end up in the same space, and then you're able to actually collaborate. But in either case, you can draw so much from it that there's nothing to lose. But there's only gains. It's win for absolutely everybody. So hopefully that helps. That's my name, Seb, and I'm pressing the mute button now. Is that what you say? I don't know what you say. There we go.
I think that was very beautiful. And it's like what I've been taught in terms of my Clubhouse mentorship is that you say, my name is, and then ... is that your name? And then you say, I'm done speaking. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. So I hope, Corinna, does this help you, and does it answer your question?
Yes, actually, I was just, taking notes because it's so much, really. I never finish, writing. Yes, very, very much, Jabari and Sam. Thank you very much also, all of you, because your work is really appreciated. From my point of view, it's kind of magic. Magic, I think I just discovered like 1 month and a half ago, and everything is changed since then. And it's unbelievable. And I relate to what Nancy said before, that people around, in the everyday life, just out there, think that you are just crazy. It's not easy. It's kind of struggling now at the beginning, but of course it's going to be better and better in the future. So I relate to that version of myself in the future, and I just put so much emotion, as you just said before, right? So yes, it's a very good point. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, just quickly checking. I was amused by the appearing and disappearing of heads on Clubhouse, but I wanted to say one thing as well, and maybe Pierre can share something more about it as well after that, is that one of the things that we have definitely seen, how do you say? So this is a moment of speech. Whenever people speak about their dreams, and you guys listening to this right now, maybe you're on Clubhouse or whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, when you're thinking about your dream and something that you wish to accomplish, and then you're making the steps, and then while you're making the steps, sometimes you can have people around you that say you're crazy, or things may happen and you don't see that instant gratification, and any of these things happening. Sometimes it can bring up this feeling of impatience, and they're like, oh man, this is not working, it's not it's not coming forward, or am I actually cut out for this, am I actually able to whether it is making money online, or whether it is find the love of your life, or whatever it is that you consider to be your dream lifestyle, that you may start to doubt yourself. But that is exactly the moment, and this is again why we would like to share this on today's episode. That is exactly the moment to just give yourself, like, can't remember what it's Bryan or Seb, but give yourself a big bear hug and understand that it's all worth it, and repicture for yourself your why, and relaunch yourself into the future, and understand that it's all going to be okay. It's all going to be absolutely okay, and you either will arrive in exactly that future that you envision, or something even better. But the reason why I want to pass the mic to Pierre for this is because on, I believe, one of the previous episodes, you spoke about this as well, about experiencing sometimes impatience and thinking like, oh my gosh, like not fast enough. But then actually to understand that, like, don't worry about it, because whether it's in our control, or whether it's in the universe's control, or whatever is going on, that it is going to be okay, and we don't necessarily need to attach to exactly that outcome. So my name is Shivaya, and I'm done speaking.
I'm just hold on. I'm unmuting my. There we go. Yeah, thank you, Tavaria. Just quickly before I talk about that, I also wanted to say, related to like success and things that were being said earlier, like someone else's success, and with the comparison, the stuff that was being said before, that someone else's success doesn't take away from your success or anyone else's success. So just because someone is further ahead, or you perceive them to be further ahead at least, doesn't mean anything. It's I think in those situations, we should actually celebrate everyone's success, regardless whether we're not moving as fast as we want to, or moving very fast. Because at one stage we might surpass that person, then another stage they might surpass us. And the great thing is that when we're in a circle of like-minded people like we are now, we can all learn from each other. And someone who's learned something and surpassed us, they can teach us that, and then we can teach them something else. So the success is always shared, no matter what. So maybe that can help in just relieving kind of the pressure that we put on ourselves and having to succeed. Yeah, that's the thing. And then another thing, I didn't want to butt in while people were speaking. Another thing with the breathing that Seb was sharing is that's like spot on in terms of calming yourself, and actually making a habit of that. Doing that every single day is so beneficial, and I can't what's the word? I can't speak more highly about meditation or the breathing practice, and being consistent with it. And obviously we all know that breath work, meditation works. It can't be wrong. But the thing is, people do it for like a week, maybe a month, but then they just stop. Life kind of gets in the way. But I've been meditating like every single day for about 2.5 years now. And like, I think I've missed like maximum like 15 days in like the 2 years, probably less than that. And it just brings like a stable kind of calmness in one's life, which allows you to just, rather than react to things like that happen around you in life, whether things go the way you want or not, it just allows you to just take a moment before you actually respond. And I just want to note the difference between the two words, respond and react. React is when we, in the moment, like automatically, without thinking, without taking a brief pause, react to whatever happens. And response is more, you are able to be conscious of what's happening and conscious of how you respond to it, basically. I won't go into it much more than that. But then moving on to what Tavaria was saying, and having spoken about all that, it's gone out of my head. Yeah.
Okay, yes, cool. Basically about, oh wait, do I need to mute you? Okay, I just quickly muted you. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're by the way, can everybody show us some love on either Clubhouse or anywhere else by tapping on the amazing speaker panelists for our immense trying of getting the platforms right. And, and if you're on Facebook or YouTube, do feel free to comment a love heart and to like the video or to share it if you think that this is useful. And on Clubhouse, make sure to click on Pierre, click on Seb, and give these amazing guys a follow, because they are here to change your life around for the rest of their life. So but that being said, the question basically was, what you spoke about last time, about that sometimes when you're thinking about a certain thing that you want to realize, or whatever the dream lifestyle is, you get so attached to it, and then because of the attachment that you have to it, you get impatient, and therefore it's like, oh man, I'm not there yet, I'm not there yet. And then what you mentioned on the other episode was that actually you should just kind of let go of that whole expectation, because like what we spoke about as well, is that whether you will arrive at exactly that what you want or something even better is both super good. And I remember Dad mentioning in a comment as well, is that, is it actually us having control, or is it the universe having control, or God having control, whichever way you like to refer to that. And then you spoke about that, so I just thought that might be something nice for the audience and for the questions that were being asked. So my name is Yaspierre, and I'm done speaking.
Thank you very much for that. Yeah, and actually today I had a moment where I had a lapse in this myself. So just to know that if you do feel like the pressure that you put on yourself, or you start to feel impatient, is like, that's one of my major things, is that I'm impatient. I want results now, and we're like so used to that in our daily lives. I mentioned this before on the previous one of these, and that we have access to Google information whenever we want it. We have our food delivered to our house in like 20-30 minutes. Amazon instant delivery, and like, we are conditioned to get things fast. And like, when that doesn't happen in our lives, just generally, it feels like we don't have control, and that can bring in a lot of panic to people. And today, even like, I felt that, put my hands up, like, every day is like, there's ups and downs, and it's fine. So I just took a moment and went for a walk, like, tried to let go of everything. I was listening to like some, stuff by Bob Proctor as well, which really helped. And what was said last week about whether it's the universe that's, it's already predetermined what's going to happen, or whether we get to choose. Either way, it's absolutely fine. I'm just repeating myself for what I said last time. Either way, we can take comfort in knowing that whatever happens, the universe has already planned it, and it's going to work out for us in any case. And if it's not predetermined, then that's even just the same awesome level of awesome, because we get to choose how we go forward in life. So I don't know what that is. So the little, those of you on Clubhouse, I was doing like wing movements, but essentially, yeah, that's it. I think reminding yourself every day of your why is extremely important, and even writing it down, maybe even carrying it with you, like on a card, on a piece of paper, and every time even like you reach in your pocket, or you reach in your wallet, or you have it on your background as your phone, like reminding yourself of your goal or your why, so you can keep going towards that. And I think also remembering that you thinking it's not happening fast enough is like, fast enough compared to what? Compared to who? Yeah. There is no time scale for, like, no one can tell when things are supposed to happen. When you're supposed to get married, when you're supposed to earn a certain amount of money, when you're supposed to have children, get a house, how you're supposed to do that. Everything we have, all the kind of I'm just getting my thoughts together. Or basically, it's also society that dictates how quickly we should be getting these things. By the time we're 30 or whatever, like when I was 18, I thought by 30 I'd like be married, have a whole family and stuff like that. I'm 29 now, I'm nowhere near, which is fine. But it's just all society, the conditioning society's brought on. So as soon as you let go of external influences over you, the sooner you'll come to be at peace with where you are. And when that peace comes, you're able to move forward. So I don't know what I'm supposed to say now. I'm Pierre and I'm muting myself or something like that.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So basically the terminology is I'm Pierre, or I don't say I'm Pierre, but today I'm Pierre. I'm Pierre and I'm done speaking. Yeah, that's the thing. So thank you so much for that beautiful share. And yeah, for everybody who is here with us or everybody who is just recently tuned in, just want to, okay, this is again Clubhouse terminology. I'm resetting the room. So what we're doing is we're going to click on the screen and we're going to swipe downstairs like to the bottom. And then you should see some new incredible creatures have appeared in our room. And also just to say, we're talking about future pacing to manifest your dream lifestyle. And on that note, I just want to say that we have an incredible superstar who has joined our midst, Mr. Scuba Steve from the Global Speaker Academy. So everybody feel free to also give this guy a follow. Make sure to click on him or on his icon. Imagine Steve would be there and all of a sudden someone clicks on his head. That would be so weird. But anyways, like I'm very visual. So hi Steve. Yeah, please do introduce yourself and share some amazing value with us over here.
I'm trying to stop laughing. Yaspierre, big love. Seb, Pierre, oh man, it's great to see you guys here.
We can see you.
In the room. Sishan, brother, great to see you. Wow, I love your terminology, Yaspierre. Yeah, like I'm gonna use that now. Swipe downstairs. I think that's gonna make that the new Clubhouse term. So yeah, just wanted to. Honestly, I just wanted to pop in and show support. I know Yaspierre is new to the platform. I would really love to razz her about it and give her some grief here, but I won't. She knows exactly what I mean and where I'm going. But so glad to see you on here, Chip. It's amazing. You're amazing. Want to be here just to support your room, your topic, whatever it is. You did ask me to share something, so yes, hello everybody. I am Scuba Steve, co-founder of Global Speaker Academy with the amazing and beautiful Christina Inspires. So what can I speak into in regards to future pacing to manifest your dream lifestyle? Is there a specific topic, or is this very, very general and open? Because I know Yaspierre knows, I know Seb knows. Wow, holy shit, what a story do I have to tell about being able to manifest things in my life. But what would be the most valuable? Maybe Chip or Seb or Pierre, just fill me in on what the topic has been so far, and if I can speak into it, I would love to.
Okay, first of all, everybody who is here, make sure, no, I already said to click on him. Okay, click on him and give him a follow. But also, can we just talk about this whole speaking into something? It's so funny that people say that. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. Speaking into something, it sounds so sensitive. Yeah, okay, anyways, that being said. Oh my gosh, this is making fun of Clubhouse terminology. Anyways, we would love you to speak into future pacing, meaning that how do you use visualization and basically traveling with your spirit to the future, seeing yourself and with all the senses in your future, and then to be able to draw energy and good vibrations from that, so that you are able to manifest much faster the dream lifestyle that you wish to have. So Chief is done speaking. Something like that.
Wow, okay, that is very specific and very awesome, actually. So how? What is the how? What do I do? What's the practice? So I haven't really deviated much from my initial teachings, my initial learnings about this. And I never really thought about it as going into the future or anything. I really looked at everything as a, well, what do I practice? That was my question. And I wasn't thinking about maybe some of the people in this room may not know. Some of the first things that I ever wrote down, I still have them all, by the way. I have a special notebook of all the notes that I ever took in my journey from master. And the very first thing that I ever wrote down was breathing is everything. But the most significant thing, even now to this day, that I still share with people, even if I'm not talking about manifestation or law of attraction or anything like that, is the undeniable fact that we are energy, that energy is everything and everything is energy, and energy holds vibration. It's really easy to explain to science nerds because we can talk about sine waves and things like that, but when you understand that everything holds vibration, and it's a lot easier to onboard the concept of vibrational frequency. Kim's a physicist, so she knows. But the concept of different vibrational frequencies start to make sense. And then when you start to understand that like attracts like, and you can adjust yourself on said frequency, that's when the whole thing really started to sink in and make sense and resonate with me. And so the most significant thing that I learned when all that sank in was that words, thought, and speech all hold vibration. So what that means is thinking it holds vibration, speaking it out loud holds vibration, and writing it down holds vibration. A lot of people, when they think about things like, say, affirmations or whatever, or creating a vision board, whatever it might be, things I want to do to change and impact my life, start attracting the things that I want, why wouldn't you just triplicate that power and take advantage of every single one of those? Why wouldn't you make that part of your routine? Why wouldn't you learn how to meditate, learn the right breathing techniques, the right staring technique, to actually silence your mind? So many people think that they really understand meditation, but they don't understand that meditation is actually nothingness. If there's any thought that's going on in your mind, you're not meditating. And when you can get to that state, where you can actually quiet the mind, calm the mind, you can allow that essentially channeling of what you really want. That's why I said in the beginning, when I thought I knew what I wanted, once I reached that readiness state, that calm state, and I was ready to ask, to put out in the universe, to attract the things that I wanted, it was in that moment that I not only realized what I think I want isn't really what I want, it's just what I've been programmed to tell myself that I want. But that's when what I call the download began to happen. And it just sort of, I would say, channeled into me. I just had this experience of everything that I wanted, everything that just filled my soul, what I truly desired. And at that point, it was, how do I get there? How do I do it? Once I reached that point, that was when I started, like, I don't know how you would, there's probably a few different names you could call it, like astral travel or dream state or future self or whatever it might be. But actually getting into that meditative state with some sense of purpose and just allowing your desire to take you there. Because if you're doing it consciously, that's not actually the correct state. We do need to know what we want to manifest consciously, but we need to somehow figure out a way to line that up subconsciously. And when you get there, when you get to that place, your subconscious guides you to exactly what your true desire for your future self is going to be. So I never had any dream or any desire to even be a speaker, much less teach people how to speak. But this path, this journey that I have been on, thanks to people like Yaspierre, like Seb, it has introduced people into my life, like Pierre, like Zishan, like the spiritual teak. I see you in the audience, like the amazing Christina. When you take that path, when you follow your heart, when you are open-minded, when you see opportunity and you grab it, when you say yes to every opportunity and figure it out later, this is when all of those things unravel for you. You don't need the plan. You need the decision of what you want. You need to focus on, this is the thing that I want, this is the goal that I have, this is what I'm going to achieve. You don't worry about the how. The more you focus on the how, the farther away unhappy. I just don't believe it. With the amount of time that I've spent around here, I cannot fathom that it's possible for Yaspierre to be unhappy. And you need to surround yourself with people like that. They say your tribe is your vibe, right? A lot of people say, especially when it comes to income, right? Your income typically averages the 5 people that you hang around with the most. Don't think about it like income. Think about that thing that you want, the thing you want to do, the thing you want to be, the thing you want to achieve. And surround yourself with people like that. If you're the kind of person who wants to be happy all the time, you need to surround yourself with 5 Yaspierres. If you want to be a digital wizard, you need to surround yourself with 5 Sebs, right? If you want to be a go-getter, a goal-setter, and achiever, surround yourself with 5 Pierres, right? This is the power of that. That is literally masterminding, right? Elevate yourself, surround yourself with the people who achieve the results that you want to achieve, and you will see it just happen and unfold in your life. So I hope that helps everybody. Again, my name is Scuba Steve, and I'm done speaking.
Thank you so much, amazing Scuba Steve. And you're such a Clubhouse pro. We are very proudly listening to all the incredible content that you share, as well as your swiftness on this beautiful platform. So everybody who's here in the room with us right now, thank you so much for being here with us on this topic of future pacing, to manifest your dream lifestyle, episode number 4 of ImPerfectly Beautiful. And make sure to click on Steve and give him a follow, because he is absolutely incredible. And while you're at it, maybe also click on Christina, who has just entered the room, because Steve and Christina are super amazing and they're changing the world. So please do. On that note, because usually, because this is kind of different, we're experimenting a little bit with being on both Clubhouse as well as on Facebook and on YouTube. But unfortunately, even though we actually would like this conversation to go on and on and on and on, we have to call it an end for now. But we are definitely going to be back, and we have had a wonderful experience over here. So I definitely want to thank all the people who have been in the room with us today. We're super appreciative of all of you. And before we're going to go, as usual, I'd just like to ask all our incredible panelists to leave our audience today with a wonderful tip that could help them specifically with, future pasting, future pasting, copy and paste. That's actually what it is, right? Future pasting is you copy from the future and you paste in your today. So if you didn't understand that, make sure to write that down. That will be my contribution for this episode. And I'm going to pass the mic on to Mr. Seb Williams for sharing your amazing goodbye tip for today's episode.
How do you follow copy and paste?
Facebook, too many platforms. How do you follow the advice of copy from the future and paste into the now? I think that is future pacing at its finest. I also just want to highlight, before I share my top tip before we close out today, the uniqueness of this whole event this evening, whether you've been joining us on Clubhouse or YouTube or Facebook. And thank you to all of the speakers and everyone who had questions and shared their time and their energy with us. Nice to see you, Scuba Steve, as well. I hope you didn't get too bombarded with people clicking on you. Hope that you're not bruised like a peach or anything. And I feel confident saying that nobody's ever been in a room that has been hosted like this one. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, coming to my share, I've shared this before on an episode of Imperfectly Beautiful, but I feel like it applies to absolutely everything. So I'm going to say it again, and it's this question. This question literally changed the whole course of my life. And
Sorry,
you guys know
I think I know it.
You guys know what it's going to be. But we're talking about future pacing, and whilst it's good to to decide where it is that you're going. Sometimes you just got to take a stand in the moment and go, actually, I'm not happy with the path that I'm walking on. I'm not doing myself justice, whatever it might be, and pivot, right, and be okay with that and make a different choice. But sometimes it can, how do you do that, right? How do you find the strength or the courage or whatever it might be to move in a different direction so that you can end up where you're meant to be? And you will get there, but it's a question of how soon, right? And sometimes you can definitely propel yourself forward with the actions that you take in the now, taking that responsibility. So the question that always allows me to stand in that power and be conscious and really take an aligned action is the following question. You guys know what it is. We've talked around the bush. Let's get to the question. What is keeping you so loyal to a life that is keeping you so stuck? What is keeping you so loyal to a life that is keeping you so stuck? My name's Seb, and I'm done talking. I think that's right. Did I get it? Yeah, okay. My name's Seb, and I'm done talking.
Word is speaking.
I'm done speaking. Sorry, my mistake. Let me try again. My name's Seb, and I'm done speaking.
Who's next? Yeah.
I can get, yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Seb. What is keeping you so stuck to a life? No, what is keeping you so loyal to a life that is keeping you so stuck? I think that holds a lot of power, like asking yourself that question. And I think in it gets to a point with some people, and I think I speak for myself, where it's actually more painful to just be stuck in the position that you're in than to actually go through all the hurdles that may come along the way of moving towards your goals. And that's kind of also a big motivator. Just like it is more painful to stay stuck in the place that I was before, which is why I've decided to take action and move towards all the goals that I have and set new goals. And every now and then, sure, like life happens, and like it is difficult. Like those hurdles are there for a reason. It's if they weren't there, you wouldn't grow, for one. But it's also a test from the universe to show you, see how much you really want it. And the key, I think, to anything, and I'll just leave it with this, is persistence and not giving up. You will fail, but it's not failure. It's instead of failure, let's say you will learn. You will learn along the way, and there'll be a lot of learning opportunities. So just make the most from those and keep going. Like that's the best thing I can say. Persistence is key. My name's Pierre, and I'm done speaking.
Hoo-ha-hoo for that. And also hoo-ha-hoo for saying it correctly. Sorry. I'm just being a little bit so face like why wouldn't you think that mine was good? But anyways, yeah, thank you so much for that beautiful share. And I'm gonna pass the mic on to the incredible Bryan.
Yeah, I think Seb and Pierre really nailed it on the head here. Dealing with two different dealing with different sides of it. I think if you want something different, it has to be uncomfortable, because it has to be something that is unknown to you. So however and whatever you can do to feel comfortable with the uncomfortableness. It's going to feel weird at first, but you have to start from where you're at. And once you're able to move momentum, your vibrational momentum in the direction of being your own creator, and not just, witnessing everything. When you take the stance that you want to create what it is that you wish to live and carry out and think and speak and all the actions of it, you really, it's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of, what are the words I'm looking for here? It's going to take a lot of trial and error. So don't beat yourself up too much. Going back to Pierre, as far as him dealing with impatientness, I think we all deal with that, but he brought it up here today. But yeah, so don't beat yourself up. Just be your own biggest fan and supporter, not your own biggest critic. And it's all about learning who you really are and what's important to you, and everything else. I know there's been a lot of techniques and things shared, and it's advice, but at the end of the day, you have to feel it out for what works best for you. and there's no clear-cut path in a sense. It's organic for everybody.
Nice, super, super beautiful. Thank you so much, amazing Bryan. So on that note, I just want to say another big thank you to our incredible superstars on today's panel, Mr. Seb, Mr. Pierre, and Mr. Bryan, and also our incredible guests that were here today on both Facebook, YouTube, as well as Clubhouse, with wonderful shares and contributions from Scuba Steve, from Nancy, from Heathers, and from Corinna. And I do apologize that we are not able to stay longer on today's episode, but we will be back, won't we, guys? We will be back, huh? And we will be back with our full proof Clubhouse certificate so that we know how to say the words right. But please do know that we have the right intention here. We're going to future pace ourselves to the future and know how to end these things. But in any case, what we want to say and what is the reason why we're running these ImPerfectly Beautiful or I'm Perfectly Beautiful episodes is to allow you to remember that you are perfectly beautiful. So whether you are in a place where we can see you, which is nobody, OMG, just repeat after me 3 times. And you guys do it with me here. Say, I'm perfectly beautiful.
Beautiful. I'm perfectly beautiful.
I'm perfectly beautiful. I'm perfectly beautiful. And you absolutely are. And so remember, whatever it is that you want to achieve for yourself, it absolutely is possible. It already exists. So all you have to do is just follow your heart, believe in yourself. Don't stay loyal to a existence that's keeping you stuck. Have persistence and make sure to, just keep on going, even though there will be trial and errors, because you got this and we got you. And on that note, we're going to say goodbye. So Facebook, YouTube, we love you all. See you guys later. We're waving at you guys right now. And Clubhousers, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to click on the amazing Pierre, the amazing Seb, the amazing, click on everybody. and feel free to support everybody. But on that note, we're going to go. We're going to boogie. Bye, everyone. Okay, now we just need to figure out how to boogie on Clubhouse. But